What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your NXT for November 4th review. After not doing a Raw review, I'm like itching to talk about some wrestling. But for those of you that asked me why there wasn't a Raw review, quick honest thing, you guys know I take a crap ton of notes for Monday Night Raw. Halfway through Monday Night Raw this past Monday, I just stopped taking notes. And it wasn't because I wasn't excited, it was because I was way too interested in what was going on in the show. Between the Fatal 4-Way with the Divas, between all the stuff that was going on with Reigns and Rollins, the Survivor Series main event, all those types of things, I just stopped taking notes and figured I would do something later in the week to sort of roughly touch on those issues, and haven't gotten to it yet so far. But Karma caught up with me. If you guys really want to know, Karma caught up with me at work today, because Karma said you didn't do a Raw review, so you're gonna put a knife through the tip of your thumb. So that's what I get for not doing a Raw review. But let's talk about NXT. Opened up tonight's show with Asuka versus Cameron, former Funkadactyl, better than Naomi Cameron. It's pretty cool. She's got a little bit of a new look to her, all the purple. She's still got the sarcastic girl bye gimmicks on her clothes and the theme music and all that. She immediately got heat in the NXT crowd because she's not from NXT. She's from the main roster. So clearly she's bad. Now, I'm not saying that Asuka's not 100% better, but there is that NXT fanboy slash fangirl mentality of if you're from WWE, you're bad, which we're going to see again later on in the show, are we not? But started off with the collar and elbow tie-up, and it's a hard collar and elbow tie-up, as Asuka does in her matches. Cameron tries for a kick, and Asuka taunts her into the middle of the ring. Literally, she gets Asuka in the corner. She goes for a kick. Asuka grabs her foot and just kind of walks her out to the center of the ring and puts her foot down. Cameron tries for a slap, and it's immediately snatched into a cross arm breaker, which I figured was going to be the end of the match. It's Asuka. They want to make her look impressive. Quick 2-second squash match over Cameron. The NXT fans will love it. But no. Hangman on the second rope by Cameron, who tosses Asuka's head face first into the mat. Running splits dropkick by Cameron, which is nice. Standing vertical and a splits leg drop by Cameron, which is also pretty damn good. Dragon sleeper by Cameron is countered into a snapmare by Asuka. Spin kick by Asuka, who walks into some forearms by Cameron. A hip attack by Asuka twice. Now, the hip attack is literally just hip checking somebody, but the way she does it, throw somebody into the ring and jump up with the hip attack, it's actually, I don't know why I'm doing it while I'm talking about it, and you guys know I have a habit of doing this. I don't know why I do it, but that's the thing. The hip attack is actually pretty cool, and I hesitate to say it, but only because I didn't do a Raw review and I didn't get to talk about Brie Bella on Raw, I will say Asuka with some Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Oh, yes. Armbar by Asuka and a bunch of back fists and spin kicks. A running knee and the Asuka lock, which is basically that chicken wing body vine type maneuver. It's awkward looking, and because it's awkward looking, it looks painful as hell. So Asuka looks great. As my friend Kristen Blackcat Feline says, she does have the cray eyes. I still say she looks like Japanese Melina, but that's just me. Great match, great way to open up the show. Great way to, even though she lost, great way to introduce Cameron. Everything's good. We replay the Dash and Dawson attack on Enzo and Cass from last week. We see Dash and Dawson in the back telling off Carmella and announcing that they will have their title shot against the Vaudevillians next week. Now, I don't know why. Here's where it's like, I could shut up and enjoy it because I know it's going to be good, but I have to infuse some logic into this. I don't know how attacking a team that doesn't have anything to do necessarily with the titles gets you a title shot, but that is what it is. They, Dash and Dawson, tell off Carmella as Carmella is explaining the medical condition of Enzo and Cass. They say Cass is going to be out I think she either said 4 weeks or 4 months. I didn't catch it, but it's 4 somethings. The Vaudevillains come out, or sorry, the Mechanics, because that's a dumbass name. Dash and Dawson come out. They have a wheelchair. They have a wheelchair all ready for the Vaudevillains next week. Vaudevillains versus Dash and Dawson next week for the tag titles. I'm all in for that. Jordan and Gable sort of have a promo slash solo interview where they're talking about how they have ascended and they're climbing up the main roster. They even make the joke of calling themselves the world's greatest tag team, and then And then they correct themselves quite quickly, which I thought was hilarious. To prove themselves, they are going to call out the longest-lasting NXT champions in history, which is the Ascension. So they've basically put a call out up to the main roster, said to the Ascension, why don't you come back home and let us prove ourselves against you? So that is something we have to look forward to in the future. Bull Dempsey versus Angelo Dawkins. I know what they're trying to do with Bull Dempsey. I don't like it. They're making him NXT's Santino Marella. But a knee by Bull and a headlock and a snapmare and a punch in the face and just a bunch of random stuff. Bull Dempsey has his own version of the Hulk Up, which just includes a lot of shoulder tackles, jabs, headbutts, splashes, avalanches. And his finisher is basically sitting on his opponent from the top rope. And it's just... Bull wins. We see the Vaudevillians being interviewed in the back. They take the wheelchair that was offered to them by Dash and Dawson and they throw it off camera, which is great. I have a concern, if I can point this out now. I have a concern that if the Vaudevillains lose the Tag Team Championships, it's going to mean they're going to go up to the main roster. Now, I don't say that as a concern as in any disrespect towards the Vaudevillains. I think, much like the Ascension, I think their gimmick will get eaten alive on the main roster. So they are two of the guys that I hope sort of stick around in NXT for a while. In another backstage interview, we see that next week, Blake and Murphy and Alexa Bliss last week had challenged Bayley to go find herself some partners for a 6-man tag, basically insinuating that she has no friends. It'll be hard for her to find a partner. It's going to be Bayley and the Hype Bros versus Blake Murphy and Alexa Bliss next week on NXT, which is fine by me. Next up, speaking of people that came from the main roster and are hated basically because of that, Eva Marie versus blank. For the purpose of my notes, I put Eva Marie versus Blondie, but I played this match back twice. They never said what this chick's name was. If it's somebody that they've had on there before at a job, and I just didn't recognize her, then I do honestly apologize for that. I try to be somewhat informed when I come and talk to you guys, but honestly, it wasn't somebody I recognized. She was fighting in a cut-off football jersey, and she's from Jersey, and they talked a lot on commentary about her having that fighting Jersey spirit. But unless her name is Jersey, that really doesn't help me very much. So for the purposes of my notes, she is Blondie. What I love is Eva Marie, the hate that Eva Marie has in NXT, because it's fucking brilliant, and she's playing it up to a T. The past couple of weeks where she's been like, hi guys, greetings from Paris, I hope you guys miss me, I've just been taking some me time. It's fucking great, and they hate her, and that's great. The all red everything with the almost Ric Flair type robe and the red lighting. What killed me was as she was going up the steps to get into the ring, right at that corner, right in the front row, was a fan decked out head to toe in Eva Marie garb, including the feather boas and the robe and everything. It was absolutely great. Somebody else pointed out to me that the style of top that Eva Marie wears obviously shows off a lot of cleavage and whatever, but the style of the fabric is the same design as the O in the modern Ring of Honor logo. Which also makes me smile because I don't watch a scrap of ROH, do I? No. Collar and double tie up and a toss by Eva and a hair whip. Blondie shoves. Because clearly she's taken stuff from the Naomi handbook. She shoves. But then she upgrades from Naomi to Trish Stratus and ducks a clothesline with the Matrix move, which does make me smile a lot. Armbar facebuster by Eva Marie, standing vertical suplex by Eva Marie, and a standing armbar. Forearm smashes and an enziguri by Blondie, 2 drop kicks by Blondie and a Thez Press, a boot by Eva Marie, and a weird... She sort of like baseball slides into the maneuver. It almost looks like she baseball slides into Mr. Anderson's mic check. I don't know what it's called. They didn't give it a name, but Eva Marie wins, and that's the bottom line, because Spaz Phoenix said so. And the hate just bubbles and boils. Speaking of hate, can I just point out that the PWI Female 50 listed Nikki Bella as #1, and I hope that pisses everybody out there off as much as it does. Oh yeah. Paige is #2. Sasha Banks is #3, which everybody's crying about, but they point out even on the list. This is the highest placement of a first-year main roster talent on the PWI Female 50 ever. This is the highest that somebody has ever debuted on that list. So it's not like it's a big slight on NXT and it's a big slight on... Shut the fuck up. Nikki Bella's number one. Fucking swallow it. That's what I have to say about that. Finn Balor versus Apollo Crews for the NXT Championship. Really, okay. Apollo Crews got hot-shotted to this place. You knew he wasn't going to win. I read the spoilers a couple weeks ago of what happened in this match. It's NXT has spoilers. What do you want? But they really did try to beef up the big fight feel. It wasn't a pay-per-view. It wasn't a earth-shattering match, so we didn't get the Demon Finn Balor. We sort of got what I call the douchebag rockstar Finn Balor, which I'm totally okay with. They do the intro, and the way they did it was kind of cool. We all know in WWE/NXT matches, they wait till both people are in the ring, and then they do the proper title introductions by the commentator. Really nice touch to dim down the lights in the arena and put the spotlight on the two guys while the intro was going on. That was really good. Handshake before the match started. You got two baby faces showing respect for each other. Everything was cool. Everything up until that point showed all the big fight feel elements into it. And then you realize that it's Apollo Crews and he's not winning. But you get into the match and you appreciate it for what it is. Collar and elbow tie up and a quick roll up by Crews. Collar and elbow tie up again and a side headlock by Balor. And we quickly go to a commercial break. Still love the fact that I'm watching this on the WWE Network, and I can still say, and we go to commercial break. Come back with Crews riding a headlock and a sick dropkick. Corner splash by Crews, dropkick by Balor, front face lock by Balor, stalling vertical suplex by Crews. Basement dropkick, or sorry, not a basement dropkick, a basement kick to the face by Balor. Sunset flip by Crews, low dropkick by Balor. Sunset flip by Balor, low dropkick by Crews. It's really even. One shot for one shot. Anything you can do, I can do better, which is very common in NXT matches, and I like it a lot. Corner clothesline, clothesline, corner splash, big boot, all by Crews, all in a row, all in a nice little sequence that was really good. Balor pendulum kicks Apollo Crews off the top rope to the outside, and then hits a suicide-style flip senton to the outside on Crews. That is absolutely fucking phenomenal, as Finn Balor's stuff usually is. Coming back from the final commercial break, we've got chops in the corner by Balor and a clothesline, dragon sleeper by Balor, Samoan drop by Crews, Enziguri by Crews, sling blade by Balor, gorilla press by Crews, and he goes to do his backflip, but Balor gets the knees up, dragon sleeper into a reverse DDT by Balor, dropkick in the corner by Balor, boots by Crews, Pele kick by Balor, and both men are down. Both men are down. Big boot, big Pele kick, both men are down. You know, it's the hype spot, it's the hope spot, it's the, which one's gonna get to their feet first? And we never get the answer because Baron Corbin hits the ring and attacks both men. Crews eats metal steps on the outside and we don't see him for the rest of the show. Mounted punches by Balor, mounted punches on Balor by Corbin, almost Steve Austin style, but not nearly as good. Joe comes out to make the save, chases Baron Corbin away. Baron Corbin gives him some dirty looks from the rampway. Joe helps Finn Balor to his feet. It's all good. It's all wonderful. They were just tag team partners a couple weeks ago. But then, clothesline, mounted punches, rabid punches in the corner, all from Joe, all to Balor, all great. Perches Finn Balor on the top turnbuckle before he hits the Muscle Buster, screams right in his face, "Remember, I did this to you. Muscle Buster, get the fuck down." Samoa Joe leaves looking all angry and angsty, old TNA style. And we leave the show with the crowd chanting two things: "Next World Champ" and "Why Joe, why?" This was done phenomenally. For something that I already knew was going to happen, for a match where I knew who the winner was going to be, for everything that you could predict a mile away as far as NXT, it didn't matter, because this shit was done phenomenally. This makes me look forward to Joe versus Balor. This makes me look forward to one of those guys facing Baron Corbin on down the line. And this makes me look forward to Apollo Crews sort of going back down the roster and working his way back up again. Every single body involved in this main event benefited from this, I think. I don't know when the next NXT special is. I think it's in December. So that being said, I may be on my hiatus at that point, but I may break the hiatus to come and talk about this particular show if and when it is in fact in December. This is great shit. As I say, I didn't talk about Raw on Monday because I was doing other things. I got my punishment for it, obviously. But let's just talk about a few things really quick. We know that Ziggler's going to face Breeze. They're building this great. I love the fact that people turn on Tyler Breeze as soon as he's a main roster guy. I find that fucking hilarious. What they're doing is great. Him, Summer Rae, the VIP section, the selfie stick, the whole thing is all fucking great to me. Kevin Owens and the Intercontinental Championship is a blank slate. They could do anything they want with Kevin Owens right now. They really, really can. They could have him go against Ziggler. If Ziggler wasn't already occupied, they can have him and Cesaro go any day of the week. They can have him and Ambrose go. They touched on that on Raw. At the end of that Survivor Series match that they had on Raw, the final four in that match were Ambrose, Roman, Rollins, and Owens. And if they want to have that tag team match any day of the week, I will put down money. Tag team title situation has gotten a lot more interesting. New Day still being entertaining as fuck. And holding on to their belts as they are. The Usos returned in the main event on Raw, so they're obviously going to be in the title picture, if not at Survivor Series sometime soon. And WWE seems to have a renewed interest in pushing the Lucha Dragons, not only getting a victory over King Barrett and Sheamus, but also spending some time on a video package for them. So if you want to have New Day versus Usos versus Lucha Dragons at Survivor Series, I wouldn't mind that one bit. What else do we got? We got it confirmed that Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins is happening at Survivor Series, which we kind of already knew. We knew as soon as Roman Reigns became the #1 contender that it was going to happen soon. They sort of came out and confirmed that it was happening at Survivor Series after teasing the fans in Denver that it was going to happen that night on Raw, which was great. And can I just talk for a second about that the Bray Wyatt promo with all the pyro and stealing the Kane and the Undertaker's souls and the lightning and the thunder and the fire and the promo that he'd fucking fantastic. What I want to see right now probably isn't going to happen. What I want to see is the Wyatts versus the Brothers of Destruction, Sting, and Finn Balor. Don't want to bring Finn Balor to the main roster. He's kicking ass in NXT, but as a one-off, I think bring up Finn Balor with all those mainstay guys would be an immense thing for him. It would be an immense thing for NXT. We're doing a lot of cool things moving forward. As you guys know, we get SmackDown on Wednesdays here in Canada, so as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to be watching SmackDown. I know we're getting Ambrose versus Owens tonight. Ambrose versus Owens for the US or for the IC title is something that I wouldn't mind seeing either if they want to perpetuate that on to Survivor Series. So as I say, guys, sorry there wasn't a Raw review this week. I had my reasons, I had my delays, I had my whatever, but you know, I try to be at least a little, you know, I'm the only guy in the YWC more consistent than Sean's View Entertainment. Oh, yes. But yeah, NXT was great tonight. Can't wait for their next show. Survivor Series is already looking good. Oh, the Divas division, which I didn't even touch on. The Fatal 4-Way. The Fatal 4-Way between Brie, Becky, Paige, and Sasha. Get Naomi and Tamina the fuck out of there. Nikki's injured, obviously, but she doesn't have to have a title because she's the PWI Female 50 #1. And again, I say eat it. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.
You're a freak.